Calvin Johnson, ability of Randy Moss, character of Jerry Rice.
Here it is, the first pick.
Okay, Raider fans, with the first pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select quarterback JaMarcus Russell, LSU.
Five and a half, 260 pounds. You saw him throwing his knees over 60 yards. JaMarcus Russell, who last year threw for over 3,000 yards, 68%, 28 TDs and only 8 interceptions, played big in the big games, and now he's the #1 overall pick in the 2007 draft, making it 8 of the last 10 years a quarterback going #1, Mel.
And you're really looking at this, Boone. Oakland taking a guy like Matt Leinart or Jay Cutler last year, they could have taken Calvin Johnson. But the quarterback situation, the way it is right now, JaMarcus Russell is going to immediately energize that Raider Nation, that fan base, that football team on the practice field, in that locker room. 3 years from now, you could be looking at a guy who's certainly one of the elite top 5 quarterbacks in this league. And I think when you look at the difference between Brady Quinn and JaMarcus Russell, everybody says it's the superior physical ability. Brady Quinn's a big guy. Nobody has an arm like JaMarcus Russell. And
clock. Yes, we all believe that it's supposed to be JaMarcus Russell, but would we all go, what happened if it's Calvin Johnson or if they trade? No, because it's Al Davis and the Raiders.
Good.
It is good.
He's selling tickets already.
It's the truth,
Did you get it?
It's the truth, though.
In his fashion. Now, you've heard the expression, able to leap tall buildings with a single bound with Superman. So JaMarcus Russell able to throw a football 60 yards off his knees, maybe 80, 85 yards. Is this true, Mel?
Got extraordinary ability, Boone, throwing the football. You got a kid with his size and his arm strength, certainly John Elway-like, Burt Jones-like. And I think when you look at JaMarcus Russell, the improvement he made throughout his career, it's unbelievable to go from where he was early on to where he was this past season as a junior. 28 touchdown passes, only 8 picks. Decision-making improvement was phenomenal. And then you look at the imposing size. You talk about recognition when you drop back in that pocket. This guy is not a scrambler. This guy is a pocket passer, and the window there, little, I think, narrower at times. I think it has expanded because of the skill of their wide receivers, and that concerns some people in the NFL that, hey, he had guys running wide open, but when he did have that narrow window, he was able to deliver the football. Mobility is not ever going to be Vince Young, but he can sidestep defenders, shrug them off in the pocket with all that strength, and pick up a first down when need be. Keep those chains moving. You look at 6'5", 260, to be able to see the field, #1, and then be able to be very difficult to tackle in that pocket for defensive ends and blitzing linebackers. That size is very imposing, getting the ball up and over a Jarvis Moss from Florida, up and over those big defensive ends. Arm strength, as I said, John Elway, Burt Jones, like this kid has a rocket arm, can throw from any angle of his body, doesn't have to set, plant, and mechanics don't have to be ideal for this kid. And you watch him here, line of scrimmage, he owned 42-yard line of LSU, gets away some pressure there, and there goes the football. Down the field, accurate strike, and here we see him on his knee, throwing the football, almost hit the roof, and throwing the football 64 yards. That is an amazing skill set that JaMarcus Russell brings to the table. You see what I talked about earlier, the improvement throughout his career. Look at that touchdown-interception ratio. Gradually improved to the point where it was outstanding. You look at the completion percentage, phenomenal. And when he did make a mistake, now the fans look.
With the 6th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins take LaRon Landry, safety, LSU.
They did it. They did it.
Boomer, in an era of cover 2, safeties are becoming kind of corners in many ways. They're the deep guys. And to your point, Mel, you question some of his skills, not down in the box, but out in the field. And so now you have 2 safeties. If you're going to play some cover 2, that's probably not the best spot for both of these guys. Both of these safeties love to be
Greg Williams.
Tackler playing the deep ball, questionable hands. That's not his strength. Sean Taylor will be able to be the center fielder in that defense. LaRon Landry will be the guy getting up in that box and making plays. As I said, there's not a more sure tackler in the country. This is a 4-year starter. You know about how physical he is. You watch him there, number 30, getting that after the quarterback, delivering that blow. A tough, aggressive player there as well, delivering the hit in coverage. Again on the blitz, he still has the ability to close on that quarterback at 6'1", 210 pounds. He ran a 4.35 at the combine. Hands for the interception, questionable. He had 3 picks this past year. Could have had very easily 6, 7. Could have doubled that. You see the read and react ability. Again, you're talking about a guy in the box, seeing what's going on, reading the quarterback's eyes, recognizing it's a reverse, getting and closing. Talking about the ability to take the right angle in pursuit. He can do that. Talking about measurables and physical prowess. 6'1", 210 pounds, 4.35 40, 37.5-inch vertical jump. Gifted athlete, and I think the Redskins will kind of mask the problems that he has playing that deep ball and in coverage by using the complementary guys.
We know that much.
With the 23rd pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Dwayne Bowe, wide receiver, LSU.
There's one of your values, Mel. So they go wide receiver. How would they have Eddie Kennison, and then what do they have? I mean, it's.
Well, Eddie Kennison was their leading receiver last year with 53 catches. I'm still surprised. Herm Edwards, his philosophy is, hey, we're going to run the football. We're going to run the football, but obviously,
this is a great pick for them. You got a wide receiver who's big, who's strong, who uses his hands. They're bringing in a new quarterback that can have a guy like this help him out. Now, Eddie Kennison is going into his 12th year, but he can be a complement of this guy as he learns how to play the position and teaches him the do's and the don'ts about playing in the National Football League.
As long as the quarterback has time to get the ball to Dwayne Bowe and those receivers, that's a big question mark with the Kansas City Chiefs. You can't fill all your needs with one pick. I realize that, but I think when you look at Dwayne Bowe, big receiver with decent speed, and certainly had a huge year along with JaMarcus Russell. That was his primary target. You had Craig Davis on the other side. Davis could be anywhere between the 2nd and 3rd round pick. A lot of depth. They went 3 and 4 deep at wide receiver, but a big wide out who had a great end to a season. Had some drops early on, but finished up as a very productive, very consistent option. I just wonder about big time about that offensive line of Kansas City. It looks, about looking awful on paper, on the field this year. That's going to be a major issue that they're going to have to address in the picks to come.
Well, Dwayne Bowe now becomes
With the 30th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the San Diego Chargers select Craig Davis, wide receiver, LSU.
Well, we thought that, and just think for a moment, Mel, as you break him down, JaMarcus Russell was throwing to 2 wide receivers that also went in the 1st round. Bowe and Davis now to the Chargers.
The other wide receiver at LSU, look at Craig Davis, 6'1 1/4, 205 pounds. After the catch this year, he's outstanding here, being the cornerback for the touchdown. You look at a kid who runs very well, ran a 4.43. Some thought he would even run faster than that. I tell you, there were some teams that were a little skeptical about whether he, in fact, was worthy of being a late 1, early 2. Some thought, well, he'll probably end up being a 3rd round pick. You could argue they reached a little bit. The consensus was not that Craig Davis was a late 1. It was more he was a mid to late 2 or 3. But a guy that certainly has a lot of talent. And playing through injuries is the one thing he needs to do. He has a nick or he has a little minor injury, play through it, stay on the practice field, stay in games when that situation occurs to maximize all that ability. Because athletically and yards after the catch, he got it done at LSU.